Yes, 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 yes. Grand risings, grand risings, grand risings. Come on. Today is the 18th day of the second month, 2022. You know what I mean? And we are what we are. Not quite post storm, but yeah, man. Not to say big up Eunice, but Eunice just chill out, innit? Yeah, so that's first and foremost. But yeah, family, big up yourself. Managed to squeeze in a quick breakfast one because of all the emergencies, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? No plantation today and that. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. We try and squeeze one in still, man. But yeah, big up, big up, big up, big up, big ups, man. Hold on a second, let me have a sip of my tea. I tell you what, man. That's one British thing about nines. I love a cup of tea, mate. I love a cup of tea. Trust me. J to the 4, big up yourself. I see Sakina in the building. Big up yourself, young lady, man. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. But yeah, man, I tell you, man, that's one thing. You know, anywhere I go in the world, trust me, you know. My draw from a cups of tea, you know. I don't think I ain't been on holiday and took my English tea bags because some of the tea bags international, boy, them not ready yet. I'm not telling a lie. Big up yourself, Stu. Always nice to see you. Come on, man. But yeah, man. Next couple. And with that being said, you know, I'm even surprised how sexy 2 Jed. Come on, bring them abs out. Yeah, in fact, you need to come on the panel, man. Come and show me some of them abs, man. You get what I'm saying to you, Becca, man. Come on, man. Listen. Yeah. Cup of tea, mate. That's very British about me. Trust me. I've been to the hottest places, and the first thing I want is a cup of tea. So, yeah, man. Maybe I am British after all. But, yeah, man. Like I said, man. Squeezing a quick brekkie one. Most importantly, I hope everyone is safe and sound wherever they are. You know what I'm saying to you? I don't think it's been too bad in London. I haven't looked outside the front of my house, I'm not going to lie, because that bit could always be scary. The back garden looks like it's had a bit of a ruffle, but you know what I mean? All the trees are still standing, this, that, and the other. But yeah, I can see that there's been a bit of wind still. But all the windows are in place, this, that, and the other. So, you know what I mean? This is what I'm saying, Stu. Stu says he's a coffee dude, right? And I'm saying, even that, right? I'm surprised in 2022 that England has become such a coffee nation. Do you see what I'm saying to you? And I guess, you know what I mean? It's not the strongest example, but we try to use it as an example anyway about how cultures can change, you know what I'm saying to you, and how different influences can change culture or a culture. You get me? Because in time to come, coffee, if not already, it could be argued is going to be part of British culture. You know what I'm saying to you? Because certainly in the mornings, if you're going to work or whatever, you see many, many, many persons with a cup of what I'm presuming is coffee in their hand. Now, we know that there's all different types of coffee now. You know what I'm saying to you? A whole heap of different type of coffee. You see what I'm saying to you? But for real, I would have never thought that England would have become a coffee nation, man. And I think they're slowly creeping that way. Becca also saying that she likes sorry, Bex. Sakina also says she likes her coffee. You know, what's she saying here? I ain't leaving my house today. Red with a warning in place. There you go. That's what I'm saying. No one should really be leaving their house if they don't need to. You know? But yeah, like I said, most importantly, I hope everyone is safe and well in it, because I know yesterday they were sort of comparing it to 1987 and all this type of shit. And I'm like, what? Because, you know, those of us that are old enough to remember 87, that was a mad thing. Now that morning I came out and definitely saw trees on cars. You know what I mean? Like I know we didn't go to school. Nah, it's still young thing. Oh, heathen. I don't know, heathen, man. And all right then, what's it like in Liverpool then? Because even that's that's an interesting comparison, because obviously London, they will quote as being cosmopolitan, wherever this, wherever that. So what are you saying? Are they not come on. I'm glad to see you, you know, my guy. How you mean, man? How you mean putting in work in these streets? Nice to see you again, boy. Come on, man. Bring the family back. Bring them back together. Come on, Rain Hands, man. Big up yourself, man. All right. Streets in Scotland, big up yourself, big up yourself, big up yourself. You know what I mean? Even saying coffee everywhere, though, Lines. So, all right then. So it's hit Liverpool then. All right then. All right. Big up. Come on, Sister Salsa. Yeah, well, we know why your plantation set your way still. Don't get me wrong, I know my boss is gonna pull something where me I forgot to chat to them today. I know that already, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm trying to squeeze one in the morning still. But yeah, so big up yourself. Always nice to see you, sis, man. But yeah, this coffee thing is mad. And I believe, and I don't know what you think, but I believe one of the biggest, I don't know, pushes for it was the TV program called Friends. Yeah, Friends. I'll be here for you, and all that kind of vibrations. You know what I'm saying to you? Because previously to Friends, tea was the thing in England, man. Tea, builders tea, strong tea, milky tea, some type of tea. You know what I mean? And even like sort of herbal teas weren't really a thing in terms of being sold in the shops like that. Obviously, other people might have been drawing their tea, but in terms of But yeah, today's it's a coffee nation, man. We got Starbucks, Costa, fucking who else? Starbucks, Costa. I mean, there's so many, There you go. Look, now we got coffee connoisseurs. You get me? Urban saying, I prefer coffee blends, but I'm exploring single origin beans at the moment. You see it there? You imagine that. Get me? Urban is exploring single origin beans. Come on, Urban. You know what I mean? Iced coffee is nice. See, I've never had that. No, I tell a lie. I think I had one. I think I've had it once. I remember years and years and years ago, one of my friends they was on this coffee thing, iced coffee, and was it like something called a slappuccino or something like that? She just kept banging on, and I had it, and I'm like, yeah, it's all right, but fucking hell, man, it's not like that. Stu saying Italian coffee is nice. Coffee is okay. My man saying coffee is hard drugs. Well, I mean, fun and joke, but we know obviously caffeine is a drug. Mexican and Costa Rican, my favorite so far. Okay. I mean, at this point, I think I need to really probably put a little plug in for Blue Mountain Peak Coffee, which at one point was definitely the best coffee in the world. Yeah. And probably still is, man. In fact, let me see. Although I do know that other coffees are coming up, though. I know that's still, But yeah, the coffee industry must be a multi-billion-pound thing at the moment, man. But yeah, man. But yeah, I was saying that Friends made coffee popular in England. You know what I'm saying to you? And I would also say that it just shows that how, you know what I mean? If I am right, a TV program, you get me, can have such a massive impact. Because obviously it was, you meet in the coffee shop. It was all very social. Have a good chat and gather whatever. You know what I mean? And if you go to coffee shops now, or certain of them, that's, I guess, what you see. People are there on their laptop, looking professional or busy, or there's groups. So yeah, man. And maybe at least in the coffee shop bit, it's more about the ambiance and the settings than the actual coffee. I'm not sure. But again, I'm saying many people, because the thing is here, you can flipping buy a I don't even know how much a cup of coffee is, Jano style. And I know in different parts of London, it probably make my eye water, for real. So I'm sure if you give them £5, you're not even expecting too much change. It could be argued in some parts of London for a cup of coffee, which I think really is ridiculous. Yeah, but it is what it is. But I'm saying, boom, why are people not just buying a good flask, even drinking flask, and making your own coffee? So again, is that whole coffee thing, is it really about being seen with a Starbucks cup and coffee. You know what I'm saying to you? Because all these little things, you know what I mean, in terms of marketing, this, that, and the other, it all counts, man. I want to try Hawaiian Kona coffee, meant to be the dogs. All right. Hot coffee doesn't sit well on my stomach. Tea is my go-to hot one. All right. I hear that. I've seen a grown man cry eye water when there was no. Oh, Sugar Hill. Watch that. I see a grown man cry eye water when there was no coffee in the building. See, you make a really good point there, right? Because coffee can be addictive, right? I am right in saying that coffee can be addictive. Yeah. And I know coffee can also have adverse effects on people as well, man. You know what I'm saying to you? Whether it be the milk, my mate's always on mad one. If they can get Vietnamese coffee where it slowly drips in urban, you want to. How much is a Starbucks coster? I don't know, but I'm saying streets, like I said, in London, I think if you give them a $5, you're not expecting much change back, man. Yeah, I'm with you. All right. It is technically a drug. You're absolutely correct. It is technically a drug. I drink. Yeah, I mean, I do drink coffee. Don't get me wrong, family. But it's not my go-to drink. You know, it's not my. And yeah, it's definitely not what I want first thing in the morning. I'll definitely a cup of tea, coffee if you need that boost or whatever. You know what I'm saying to you? But yeah. But I mean, let me see how much is in terms of an industry. What? Let me see. Let's have how much is the coffee industry worth? I mean, I've already flipping digressed. You know what I mean? Because obviously, coffee is not supposed to. But anyway. So it says the coffee, and this is just me quickly Googling in it. The coffee and tea processing industry in the UK generated a revenue of nearly £2.1 billion in 2019. The industry adds a gross value of £690 million to the UK GDP. The number of coffee process enterprises has been growing since 2012, with 101 active in 2019. Okay. So, let's see. In fact, in today's society, the UK coffee market has become indispensable both for the British population and the UK economy, given that coffee contributes 17.7 billion to the economy. The impact, oh my God. So this was on the 1st of July 2021. This stat says that coffee contributes 17.7 billion to the economy. All right, so let's just see what tea's doing right now, then, and then we'll keep it pushing still. But that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money, you know, considering what a coffee bean is. The interesting question is how much the people that are growing the coffee, how much are they actually, you know what I mean, making out of it? The United Kingdom is the largest European tea market, with tea imports amounting to some 133,000 tons, with a value of about 354 million in 2015. Since 2011, tea imports have shown an average annual decrease, see it there, of 3.6% in volume. I'm telling you, man, Britain has ditched the tea, man. They've ditched their tea. This is what I'm saying. This is another industry that England has ditched. It's a mad thing, man. Let's have a look. How much it's worth? Hold on. This is in England. It says Britain spends £20,000 for a lifetime of tea. Is that per person? So yeah, there you go, man. A quick compare and contrast. But yep, as a nation, it looks like, you know what I mean, the builders are leaving their tea and running to coffee. And as my mate J4 MC ball, grown man ball, car, there's no coffee in the building. You see what I'm saying to you? So, you know, commercial coffee shop is dead. It's a robust. The commercial coffee shop, commercial coffee shop is dead. It's robust and Arabica blend. It's got to be 100% Arabica all the way. Boy, Stu, I mean, Urban is definitely a coffee connoisseur. Yeah, man. When you start talking about Aribaka. But yeah, man, I mean, look, you get me. Obviously, there could be a potential coffee off to George. But yeah, again, I think the more interesting thing is, like I say, how a nation's culture, because definitely tea was part of English culture. You know, tea and crumpets, tea and scones. You know, you got restaurants uptown that made names on their tea. You know, cut off the was it else tea and cucumber sandwiches. You know what I'm saying to you? This was culturally Britain. But yeah, looks like coffee's come to take over, man. So that's interesting still, especially the stats, man. I see Lady Divine in the building. Big up yourself, sis. Big up yourself. All is well. All is well with you and the fam, man. I used to love Costa till I went down the rabbit hole. Rotted herbs. Rotted. There's a coffee rabbit hole, family. Mad thing. 9. Did you know rice wasn't always part of the African diet? The colonizers brought it from India. Yes, indeed. I do believe that to be the case. Because we still don't grow them thing there still. You know what I mean? And obviously, so we love rice and bees. But yeah, man. I mean, even that's a good point. Like the exchanges. The exchanges that happened around that time is really quite interesting, because many things you might have thought is sort of indigenous to your land actually is nothing could be further from the truth. You know what I'm saying to you? A lot of the things were imported through obviously colonization and all the rest of it. You get me? But yeah, man, thanks for that, Rain Hands, man. So is taste. So is it taste or addiction when it comes to coffee? I think it's probably a bit of both, to be honest, but caffeine, as we say, we know it's a drug. Again, let me see now. Let me just not talk off the top of my head. You know what I mean? But it is definitely a drug, and people definitely have caffeine withdrawals and shit like that. It's a legal drug, isn't it? Because remember, you got illegal drugs and legal drugs, and caffeine definitely comes under legal drugs. Again, caffeine is a drug found naturally in the leaves and seeds of many plants. It's also made artificially and added to some foods and drinks. Caffeine is a drug because it stimulates the central nervous system, causing increased alertness. You may feel the effects of caffeine for up to 6 hours. Yeah, so there you go. It's definitely a drug, but like I said, it's a legal drug. I used to run across the coffee bar. You used to run across the coffee bar? Oh, for real, for real? See it there? Look at that, boy. Look at that. Look at that. Heathen's apprentice just phoned to say if he wants a coffee. There you go. What, are you working today, Heathen? What, haven't they pulled you off up there? Okay. There's a science to coffee, believe it or not. So many factors, even down to water used, has to be. Yo, Urban, mid blood cleat. Let me just put the link in the chat, Carl fam. Look like you know about this thing, yeah. Like, you get me? Let me put the link in anyway, man. Big up everybody in the building. J to the 4, I see you, JBBB. Yeah, man, you never walk alone. You better know that, man. Jeez. Inter Milan, that was a nice little 2-0. Yeah, we'll see Mane trying bicycle kicks and that. All right, more coffee in caffeine in Tito 9s. Is that right? Okay. I mean, that's interesting. Tito make me alert. Oh, fuck, addiction. I gave a coffee addict a decaf on accident. He spat it. Oh, he spotted it. Yeah, I don't do decaf. I must admit, I don't see I don't really see the sense of decaf. But yeah. Oh, you see that? You see that? My brother was a coffee barista. See it there? How you mean, man? Peace affimek. All right then. That means you're supposed to go to man. Was you able to do all the little patterns in that code? Jeez. I just ordered cappuccino and watch this now. Watch this, bleed now. Watch that girl, you know. I just ordered cappuccino and pancakes for Mackie D. See it there? See it there? And again, that's also another interesting thing about, you know what I mean, the sort of changing culture, right? This whole delivery thing. Imagine in 2022, you can get a fucking, you get me? What did she say? A cappuccino and pancake delivered. It's a mad thing, man. You know what I mean? Say goodbye to the old and hello to this new. See, but now you say that, you know what I mean? I could do with something like that. Although, you know what? I don't even eat pancakes, you know. To be honest, I've never really been a pancake girl, man, to be fair. Double espresso before gym. Wow. I guess why you would do that still. Yeah, them little oh my God. Now, them, you know, so that's a shot of energy. You get me? Them extra, wow. I couldn't drink that, man. You know, them coffee that, oh, no. But yeah, man, again, it's just mad how there's so many. Lady Divine, them pancakes smell good, but they have zero flavor. Oh, yo, Divine, you're eating things with no flavor. Bro, yeah, man said that I'm the flavor. Yeah, I've never been even pancake day and all that. I could have one, you know what I mean? Maybe two, but after that, yeah, it's a bit sameish, man. Skittles send me nuts. Well, again, even you say about that. I don't know if you don't remember a time a while back where the orange Skittles, in particular, I think had a certain something in them that was not a good look. I can't remember the exact facts at the moment, but yeah, man. In fact, I'm sure back in the day, I heard certain things about Skittles still, you know. And again, that's the next thing, like, we don't know what the frig really that they put into these things that we're eating still in 2022, man. You know what I mean? All the different numbers and this and that. And then when certain information is sort of leaked or exposed, I don't know, man. It's like maybe the people are so addicted to it or this, that, and the other that they overlook it still. The only coffee I like is my homemade coffee cake. Yeah. Coffee cake. Yeah, let's see who this is. You'll never walk alone, lad.
You'll never walk alone, yeah.
Come on.
I'm just jumping on until the apprentice comes, but yeah.
How come you're out, man? Haven't you lot had the warning to stay home?
I don't know, you know, we haven't, like, we're up and down, lad. I don't know whether I'm on the cherry picker today, but I'm meant to be on a cherry picker as well today, so.
Wow.
See what the weather like. It's nice and calm where I am now. Blue sky, so.
Okay.
Morning, evening.
Yeah,
morning.
It's happening real, man.
Yeah, man.
You're a coffee man, lad, because you get up early, don't you? You sometimes start driving at 5, lad.
Coffee, man. I don't like
You're at work as well?
Yeah, I'm at work now, yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
All right. I'm not a coffee drinker. Tea, though. I do like a tea.
Yeah, man. How do you like your tea?
Strong. And with lots of sugar.
Yeah.
Lots of sugar.
Yeah.
How many sugars, real?
Like 2.5 or like 3.5, depending if it's a really big cup.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, obviously, you know, I'd encourage you to try and reduce your sugar still for obvious reasons, but I get you still. I get you. Do you leave your tea bag in or do you tea bag out?
Sometimes it depends. Like if it's a shit tea bag, you know what I mean? I'll probably just leave it in. You know what I mean? If it's a decent one, then you don't really got to leave it in. I normally just I'll give it a nice good stir, and then I normally take it out with a teaspoon and like drain it out, like squeeze it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same here, lad.
I'm a tea bag in girl still, so my tea bag remains in and one sugar. I'm good to go, man.
Teabag in, yeah? You're a teabag in, yeah?
100%, man. 100%. If you take my tea bag
I
out.
didn't expect that, actually, to be fair.
Yeah, man. I wasn't always like that, you know, but then I can't
Do you
remember.
like coffee?
I will drink it, but like I said, it's not my go-to drink. And if I'm gonna have a hot drink, I'd always generally pick tea over coffee, unless, you know what I mean, if I feel like I need that boost, or sometimes you're at work, you know, them ones, and you know. But tea is definitely my go-to, and like I was saying, anywhere I go in the world, like the first thing, same way, cup of tea, man, like straight.
What about like an Irish coffee and that? Do you like what? I like that. I don't mind them round like Christmas and that, like a Bailey's coffee.
I don't mind a Bailey. Yeah,
whiskey.
come on, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I make my own Bailey's coffee, or I prefer Bailey's with hot chocolate still. You get me?
Ooh,
So, yeah.
I've never tried that.
Oh, yeah, man. Make a nice hot chocolate. Try to get that frothy as a bitch, and then just the Bailey's. Wonderful, 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 man. But yeah, man. But to be fair, yeah, man. Anywhere I go, man, a cup of tea, and like I said before,
What's the unemployment thing about them on the title?
Okay. So, all right then. You see? All right, let me bring it back to the topic for real. So, yeah, what it is that I'm asking the question, which, you know, in these YouTube streets, you know, what do you think has a more adverse effect? You get me? In the streets, unemployment. You get me? People that are on prescription drugs, alcohol. You get me? Or just normal drugs. You see what I'm saying to you? Because you know, there's a lot of mad behavior in the streets and that, and some of it is definitely fueled by one of these things. So I'm asking the question, which do you think has the most adverse effect out of all of them? Or some would say a combination of all, you get me? But yeah, man, that's the argument still. That's the question.
You know, that is a really good question. That is a really good question. I don't know where I'd start with that. Unemployment plays a big part in it. Yeah, a lot of it. But then there is people who are employed and still find the time to do the most. You get me? Let's just say the most. Yeah. So, and you know what I mean? They claim to have jobs. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a weird situation. You know what I mean? Alcohol, yeah, another big factor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The minute alcohol's involved, even some people who are normally polite turn into, you know, not so polite people. And then there's the prescription drugs as well, which is also like, oh, fuck. Yo, you just added too many factors into this, Nines, man. Like, you made it too difficult.
That's probably the worst. Like the prescription drugs are probably the worst. Like, to be fair, real.
But do you know what I think the overriding factor of all of it is, and outweighs all of them?
Go on.
Mental health. That's it. Simple.
Well, that
mental
comes
health.
under prescription drugs. You get me?
Not really, because some people take prescription drugs and don't really need them. Other people need them and don't take them. So,
we'll have to put that in the title then, because when I said prescription drugs, I'm definitely allaying to the fact that, you know what I mean, that comes with some mental health in it.
Okay. All right, cool. So if you're saying mental health, then yeah, I'd say mental health is the number one cause of most of it, to be honest with you, because all of these people have got just like not the full ticket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mental health. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is as well, what we have to remember is that there was a time where you had something called care in the community. You remember that? And they just, because what it is, I think, with that is that you have a lot of people trying to basically manage their own mental health. Yeah. Whereas times gone by, there would be more sort of services available to them. Yeah. To manage that mental health. Yeah. A lot of that was reduced, didn't it? You get me? A lot of the mental hospitals, or whatever the correct way to call them, they've reduced their services. I mean, I don't know if you know up where you are, there was a St. Anne's hospital. They closed a lot of that. You know what I mean? My sides, there was Springfield, they closed. You know what I mean? And then obviously they brought in this thing called care in the community. You see what I'm saying to you? But I think a lot of people are self-medicating on top of the prescribed drugs, which is making it all a mazza. You get me? So
yeah.
agree.
And I don't think you know the side effects of like diet as well as like if you're on like prescription meds, it's nuts how much like your diet as well. You don't sort of, I don't know. I just find it mad. Mental health. They go on about it and go on about it and go on about it, but then like my girlfriend, she suffered with anxiety, like, and you know, it was mad how she was treated. Like she would have like every 2 weeks they'd bring her up as like a referral. You know, oh sorry, Nan, got a phone call. Sorry, I'll jump back on in a sec.
Yeah, man. All right, bro. Well, that's the thing, man. I think even you're just really confirming the point that how much of this the services have been decreased, and then the effect that has on the wider community. Because like when that sort of changed, which was I think under Thatcher, obviously, I'm sure it was under Thatcher, or was it under Blair? I can't remember. I'll have to check it. But the point being, a time come where a lot of people were getting hurt in the general community because you got these people that are not medicating, do you know what I'm saying to you, and just doing madnesses on the roadsides and that, you know. Let me check it. Hold on. Care in the community. So you're saying mental health and prescription drugs, care in the community. Hold on. And then that's the thing as well, man, because then you can have persons that are suffering a certain way, you get me, but you can come onto the internet, no problem, innit? You know, because it could be argued there's certain people that should not be online, you know, and it's definitely not good for their mental health. Right, let me just see. Care in the community, also called community care or domiciliary care, is a British policy of deinstitutionalization, treating and caring for physically and mentally disabled people in their homes rather than in an institution. Yeah, so that's oh, they're so slick, you know. They're so slick, man. Yeah, they're so slick. Care in the community, also called community care or domiciliary care, is a British policy of the institutionalization, treating and caring for physically and mentally disabled people in their homes. Yeah, which basically says we don't need to look after you. We don't need to pay. Do it your fucking self. That's what that translates to me. Yes, Heathen. Yeah. You get me?
No, yeah. Like when it comes down to the missus, like she sort of had to live. She was told to express herself. She had to write down in like a diary, like things that she was going through, which was giving her anxiety and all that. Because what happened was we got jumped in town, like, and it just had a pure adverse effect on her. You know what I mean? We were jumped by like I think it was 32 people. The police said, and there was
32 people.
Yes, and there was six of us. So it was absolute chaos. And after that, she just suffered with this anxiety.
Yeah,
but then she could not. She was told to ring up, but then when you ring up, there's no like appointments or anything. So then you've got to write it down, and then you have like a telephone consultation, like every 2 weeks. But you're waiting around for the 2 weeks. She was waiting around for the 2 weeks to come. Do you know what I mean? And it was just weird how they deal with the whole thing. Even one of my apprentices, I don't know why such a young lad has anxiety, but even he's on tablets for anxiety, and he goes through the same thing. He has like a telephone consultation every now and again where they ring up to make sure he's doing all right, and it's like, I don't know, just as much as they battle on about mental health, I don't know, they just don't seem to be doing anything with it. You know what I mean? They're just giving out drugs. Then I reckon the phone calls are just to make sure that you're not losing your mind too much. You know what I mean? But just weird.
I mean, you make interesting points, because at the end of the day, this is what I'm trying to say. Like you said, they bang on about it, but how much resources do you put into these things? You see what I'm saying to you? You know?
Yeah.
And sometimes they say that you can tell a country by the way they treat certain members of society in that country. You see what I'm saying to you? And I think that England could definitely have a better track record presently when it comes to mental health. You see what I'm saying to you? I definitely believe that because, you know,
it's like the whole thing with men as well, Nines. It's like, as a man, I don't know what other men think, but it pisses me off when you hear them all the time. You know, open up, express yourself, because I don't think a lot of people don't realize, unless you're a man, that we do hide a lot, and we can paper over a lot. But I think that's something that we've developed over time to be able to do. And now you've got this point in time where you're saying express, express, express. And again, there's nothing there to mop up what you're expressing. And then they turn around saying men are changing and all this mad stuff. And it's like, yeah, because it's better off in our heads sometimes, because a lot of the time, especially in my opinion, it seems to be women who say express yourself, express. But then they don't want to hear what it is, because men's thoughts aren't like sort of scripted. You know what I mean? It's off script. It's not like standard thoughts a lot of the time in men. You know, and they are, I personally think, better off kept inside. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I think in that respect, it might be sort of horses for courses. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, you might have a man that will generally benefit, as it were. Do you know what I'm saying to you? From talking out his feelings. Yeah. Whereas you got another man that might be able to just manage those things better. And to be honest, it'll be the same for women as well. You know what I mean? I don't think every woman's out there fucking telling all them, you know what I mean? That's bullshit, man.
True, yeah.
Women's gonna just deal with their thing differently, you know what I'm saying to you? You understand what I'm saying to you? So I think it'd be but I definitely, one thing I can definitely attest to in that, like I remember, you know, when you're like saying, oh, tell me your feelings, you get me? You let me know, come on, but you get me. And then I could definitely admit, say, yo, but all right, shut up now, man.
You didn't realize the 20 years of hate there, yeah.
But I mean, again, you raised an interesting point, man, because like I agree, like a time came when obviously there was this encouragement of men talking and this, that, now. And I can see in certain instances why that would be necessary. You know what I'm saying to you? Because they were some men were quite caveman-y, you know what I mean? Just to use a really poor example.
Well, right? I think even now, Nines, I think we're still like record-breaking, killing ourselves, men. You know what I mean?
No, well, absolutely.
Record numbers every year, yeah.
And it's not spoken about, and it's not highlighted. You understand? And that's what I'm trying to say. Like a lot of things in England, why are you hiding this shit, man?
I don't know.
You get me?
But that's what I mean. Is that now? I don't know whether that's born out of what I'm trying to say. Whether that's born out of now you're telling men to talk more. You know, should they live it? Like I say, we used to be sort of able to put it to the back of our mind, but now we're sort of living it. You know what I mean? And we're told to think about it and assess it and things like that. And I don't know whether that's maybe why men are killing themselves. You know what I mean? Because they're thinking about things that
a combination of things, to be honest, even. Sorry to cut you. I think it's probably a combination of things because, and it's interesting because I do want to actually have this conversation, but like, I just didn't know how to have it put it as a subject matter because like, how to put it? Like men and women, not even men and women in it. It could be argued that women's position has changed a lot in the last whatever years, and even I'm sure we're both old enough to see even how, you know what I mean, women's positions are changing, right? And what they can do, what is accessible to us, etc., etc., etc. You see what I'm saying to you? Yeah. And I guess that I'm making the argument that not all men have been able to catch up with it. You know what I'm saying to you? So, I mean, I think a lot of men don't feel that they have any purpose or value. That's, I guess, the point I'm trying to make, right? Previously, a man was based on being a provider, you know, or I don't know, going to war, or do you know what I mean? Very masculine traits, or however you want to choose it, yeah. And the woman was at home looking after the family, or the woman was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now we're in a time where obviously women they're working, they're doing all kind of shit. You know what I mean? And I just think, because we kind of touched it on our last show, to be fair, so it is sort of still relevant, where some men just don't feel like they got no place. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
One.
Yeah.
And then two, I think because the jobs are changing, a lot of jobs you're on your own, innit? So you got a lot of time to think and a lot of time to, do you know what I mean? Process these thoughts. Whereas back in the old day, a lot of jobs would have been more industrial. You're around men. There's more testosterone to lean on. Do you know what I'm saying to you? All these little factors, like if you're a computer programmer just in your yard, fucking doing you know what I'm saying to you? There's no So
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Like you said, like there's loads of aspects. I even think it comes down to this political correct culture that we're living in as well. You know, which we're told this thing where you're told to express yourself, but then when you express yourself, it's like there might be someone in the corner saying, "Yeah, you can express yourself, but not like that."
Well,
do you know what I mean? Is there really true expression?
So what
do you get me? Because
you talk about like wolf whistling and them thing there. Like, what are we talking about?
I don't know what I'm saying. I'll be honest. I don't know like what I was trying to touch on, but I do think limits. I'm just trying to think what would restrain men and what would make men kill themselves, basically. You know.
Okay.
I know of people who've killed themselves. Like one of my best mates. He was best mates with this lad in the gym, and it always haunts me. This one, like me mate went to gym, and I've never met this fella, like, but he's good mates with me, mate. And they had a cracking little workout session. Went after it, had a jacuzzi, a sauna, steam room, laughing and joking. Got changed together, walked out into the car park. See you later. Everything normal. Now that lad then, literally 15 minutes later, went to a building yard, walked up the set of stairs, and then just jumped off the top. Do you know when you see them when they do the building sites and they start off with the stairs, don't they? So there's like a concrete stairwell in the middle. That's what it was on the building site. So all there was on the building site was the stairs, the central stairway for the building, the fire escape probably, because it was concrete. And he just walked up to the top and just done it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it didn't half hurt me, mate. You know what I mean? Because he was like the last to talk to him, and he was just like, he was normal when I left him, and I was just like, yeah, but you can't blame yourself. He weren't blaming himself, but he was just, you know, when he was just trying to make sense of it. And I don't know what makes you do that. What makes that? Was it a split decision, or was he just making the most of his last hours on Earth? I don't know. I don't know. There's got to be something that puts that switch in.
Usually they plan it though, innit? I think. I think they again it depends, man. So I think different.
He was even getting married, man. He was even getting married and all that. You know, his bird was waiting for him at home for him to come home. Like,
so he may have had mental health issues as well, though. Because you know, like depression, these things is a serious thing, man. That make people have very deep thoughts. You know, what's that? I mean, we've had a few. What's that lady that killed herself? Is it Caroline Flack?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you wouldn't think that someone like that, you would, you know what I mean? On the outsider, you would think that she's got everything in it, like, you know, the life. I know obviously she was being done for assault or whatever on her boyfriend or whatever, but that's not enough to. But again, you know what I mean? Mental health, man. And depression and these things.
I think I'll be honest as well. I've said it before, and I don't know whether it's because I've looked into sort of paganistic things rather than say Abrahamic things. I don't always see it as like. Do you know when? With the perfect example was the Caroline Flack thing, and then everyone sort of, you know, why did she? You know, it's such a strong. I think sometimes it needs to be. I understand why they wouldn't do what I'm about to say, because it would sort of maybe encourage more of it to happen. But sometimes you've got to commend the people to be able to take such a radical decision, and you know, you know, to end your life it's a serious fucking thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? And sometimes I think with the way we act when people have done it, I don't know, we sort of second guess them, and it's like they must have been in such a horrible place, or even in a nice place where they thought this is the only thing I can do, and I'm going to end my life. And I think sometimes that needs to be respected. I genuinely do. Like, I don't think every time that like we can just say, you know, someone doesn't want to be here. You know what I mean? Maybe they would take back their actions. We'll never know. You can never ask the devil. You'll take back your actions. But sometimes I do think we've got to sort of say they made a choice and they done it. You know, I don't know. I don't always. It's a sad state of
Well, you're
affairs.
saying that what people can be too judgmental about persons that commit that act.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it takes away afterwards the decision that person's made. You know, sometimes they leave notes, Nines. Well, that's. I think Caroline Flack, she left a note, so she'd made this decision. You know, and I don't know. Do you get me? It's like it's a big decision. You know, that's been in her mind for enough time to write a note and to enough time to. I don't know how she killed herself. I'll be honest, but enough time then to act out how you're going to kill yourself. It's like she obviously wanted that to happen in her life, and if you're a true friend, as shit as it feels, I reckon sometimes you've got to say, "I'm glad she done it for herself." It's shit that she had to do. You know, do you get me? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think that it's such a hard. I hear what you're saying, because I know you even speak about your friend before. I mean, I've had a friend when we were younger. He wasn't my direct like my people, but he was a friend of my friend, and as such, we were friends. You know them ones, yeah. But it wasn't. But I remember him, Paul, yeah. And he and we was about, how old was we? We was probably like in our 20s, you know, like early 20s or whatever. And he killed himself. And you know, I don't know, because like you said, he, to the outside, he had a picture perfect life. And that's what I'm saying to you, he was a young guy. He had a good trade. He was a locksmith. You get me? He had some good contracts with local police forces. You know what I'm saying to you? You know? He had a nice CB7, was it CBR7 motorbike? And I mean, I remember that because I used to go in the back of it back in the day. But you know, but the point being that, you know what I mean? He was, you know what I mean? He was set young man. I don't think he had a girl at that point still. I don't think he had a girl. I can't remember. Catholic, but I know he was Catholic. He was Irish Catholic, yeah. And he must have drove to wherever, and he bought the rope, yeah, and he bought a Snickers bar. Gee. Just you know, like you was about your friend who went to the gym, this, that, and the other, about, because Paul definitely planned it. You see what I'm saying? He's gone to the petrol station or whatever. He bought the rope, and like I said, he bought a Snickers bar because everyone was like, "What the fuck?" You get me? When we obviously,
why Snickers?
You know what I mean? And he went home. You see it, and
that's what I mean. It's like, you know, when I've heard a few, I obviously. I don't know loads of people who've killed. When I have heard those stories, it's never been like. It's never really like I had one of my good mates from school. He died, but he never meant to kill himself. You know what I mean? And that was down to basically he'd been on a night out and he tried to jump on a boat in the docks in town and he fell in between the boat, and it was in the winter, so he just smacked his head, went under, never come back under. Some of the lads jumped in, they all got hypothermia. But when you hear like the other side of it, you know, the people who kill them, it's never through alcohol or drugs. It's not like, do you get me? Obviously, I know some people take overdoses and things like that, but like what you're talking there, the people who seem to hang themselves and things like that, they're in another state of mind. Do you get me? It's not like, you know, like you're saying there, he bought a Snickers. He never bought a bottle of vodka. Do you get me?
Exactly. That's what we're trying to say. Like, what man must have died on a fucking full stomach or something? You know what I'm saying? It was
yeah. Like maybe that's just like do you know what? I'll have a Snicker before I go. I love Snicker. Like it's when you find out the like the sort of calmness. I think it's the same with like even if you could like I don't want to bring them up like but suicide bombers. You know they're even known to be very calm. Do you know because they've sort of come to the sense of I'm going to die today. They're meant to be in a very like calm way on like the last day, and I think it even resonates with like what we've just said there. You know, just going through the motions of like a normal day, knowing that you're going to end yourself later on that day. It's definitely a like a mad state of mind, isn't it, that you're in? To be able to be that calm and just like carry on acting out your day. Yeah, it's like I say, it's not like influenced by anything, is it? It's pure. It's a pure feeling that they must have.
Well, I guess that's the sort of not scary bit about it, but yeah, it is kind of scary because, like I said, no one close to him knew that. You know what I mean? Like no one could see, like you were saying about your mate. He went to a good gym session and then boom. And I think that's probably the more frightening thing in that. Outwardly, he didn't display anything like that. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah. And then on top of that, because of that, the funeral is probably one of the most weirdest funerals I've ever been to, if I was going to be honest. You see what I'm saying to you? Because it's like it was, I don't know, it was like it was, and obviously they were Catholic as well, you know what I'm saying to you? So you're not allowed to do that type, you know what I mean? Obviously that religious thing of you can't take it, you know what I'm saying to you? Which I'm sure most of the sort of slur towards suicide is really from a religious perspective, in it, you know what I'm saying, rather than just a daily moral one. So it's like I think like some of his family couldn't even grieve properly because they were so angry, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And to be fair, I would be if someone. I think for me, anger would be the thing before even grief as well. If I was going to be honest with, goes back to what you were saying about how just the general population treats people or thinks about people that do such a thing, you know. So we are definitely programmed to be against it, rightly or wrongly. I don't know, man. It's so with, I mean, a little bit to the other side. So what about euthanasia? Are you for or against euthanasia?
I'm for it. Like
you're for euthanasia.
Yeah.
Right.
If that person's in a state of like my cousin, she used to work in one of these centres. You ever heard of locked-in syndrome?
Yes, I have.
Like literally nines where you just literally all you're doing is moving your eyes, but you're sane. Do you get me? Yeah, like even talking about it now, it sends shivers down my spine. Like,
yeah.
I totally get it. Like, you know, all you can do is move your eyes, and you're alive. Like you're not like not to sound nasty, but you're not cabbaged in any sort of way, shape, or form. Your mind is working as you know exactly what's going on. You're not slow in the head or anything. It's like me and you now, but all we can do is move our eyes. And some of the like there was one case in our place where the fella literally just moved house now. Right, he moved house. He lived in a terrace street, and he moved house. Only in the same street as well. He only moved a few doors up. He just cancelled that rent agreement. Got a different rent agreement further up. But the stairways changed. So instead of being on the left-hand wall, they were on the right-hand wall. And he come in one night after the drink, turned the wrong way, fell down the stairs, and he got himself put in this locked-in syndrome. Like, and it's like, do you know what I mean? And if I don't know, if he doesn't want to live anymore, totally get it. Like, because you literally are just getting cared for till you die. Like, you know what I mean? It's mad.
Yeah, I hear that still, man. It's a tricky one. You know, the topic of euthanasia is a tricky one still. I know in England, I still believe it's illegal, innit? If people want to do it, they got to go places like I think Holland, it's legal.
Switzerland, isn't it?
Switzerland, yeah. Yeah, it's a difficult one, man. But I do believe, I'm glad at least that there are facilities elsewhere, at least where, you know.
Yeah.
it's available to persons that want to do that still. The thing is, though, I don't know if I want to. No, I wouldn't say it's a bit of hypocrisy, but often you can have a situation where someone's in the hospital who aren't responsive.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, and they encourage to turn off the thing, but it is a mad one.
But then you hear of those cases, don't you, where they've been on life support for like 3 years, and they've been encouraged to turn off the machine, and then that person wakes up.
Right.
So it is very like
I'm saying it's a dodgy one, man. Because some things are reversible.
Yeah, you couldn't write. I don't think you could write like a general sort of law about it, can you? Every case would have to be sort of. But then is that the point? Should you have to fight your case to be able to die? Because you can just go and do it in your own room or in the bath with a razor. You know what I mean? But what we're talking about is people who've gone beyond that point of being able to do it themselves, aren't we? Sometimes, where they haven't got the right to go and cut themselves with a razor. I'm actually. Is it illegal to try and kill yourself? They just don't prosecute anymore. I thought it was illegal to try and kill yourself.
See, I knew it, man. Is it illegal? Hold on. And then that even brings another set of questions, Hold on. Let's have a. Is it illegal to kill yourself? That sounds so flipping.
Because I remember a story years ago now in America, because you know what America's like. And this person tried to kill themselves in America, and God knows how. It could be one of those stories where it's not true, but I'm sure it's happened. And the ambulance got there within time and saved the person's life. And then the person went and sued the ambulance service for saving the life because they wanted to die. And they won.
Look at that. I mean, I think it's more common than
He's here, the apprentice is here.
Okay, you got your coffee then, yeah? Because I've been,
No, he's been here for a while now. I just didn't want to be rude and get off. So
Okay, no problem. But I was just gonna say, you can go to like different train stations, and at the end, you've got like the Samaritan's number. You get me? In the most marriage of places. Now, people that jump in front of trains and tubes and that, now they've got a special place, man. Because that one I don't understand. Like that, I don't know how anyone that's got the guts to do that, and I can only call it guts. I can't think of another word, man. Because if that don't go right, boy, oh God, man. Oh God.
It's like we've had a couple lately now in Liverpool where they've crashed into these roundabouts. Like it's the same roundabout, and I genuinely don't know whether there's just a load of bad drivers out at the moment, or these young lads. They're just. Do you know what? I'll be honest. I was in a dark place years ago, like, and I was on a long motorway drive home, and I'll be honest, I don't know what come over my mind. And I wasn't gonna do it, but I don't know, the thought come into my mind to just like turn the wheel, and I don't know whether that might be a more exaggerated way of what some of these lads maybe go through, and girls sometimes go through. Do like sometimes you'll just see that thing and just think, I'll do that, no, and you can't take it back. It's something you can't take back, is it?
I mean, what if anything, even what you're doing is just highlighting the complexity of the mind. You see what I'm saying to you? And how that's
what I mean, yeah.
To another.
Like, I was never going to do it, but I don't even know what made me think about it. But it was just like, it's an option, isn't it? It was an option. That's all it takes. If there's a big enough tree and you're going down the road at 40, 50 mile an hour and there's a big enough tree there, but that split second, say because a lot of the time when I was talking about these roundabouts in Liverpool, there's a car full of people. Do you get me? So you're not there at the time. You don't know what's happening. One of the ones was they just let two girls out. I think there was like 4 or 5 of them in the car. They let two girls out down the road because they were having an argument in the car, and then the the car carried on down, went down to this roundabout, and he just went into the roundabout. And the place where he went into the roundabout was like never even. It was straight into the roundabout. It wasn't like he tried to turn and missed it. It was like, you know, whether that argument carried on, and that driver's just thought, right, I'm fucking gonna do this. The split second, and again, like you just can't take back that decision once you've committed yourself to that. You've just got to then live with the consequences. If you survive, you survive. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely, man. And again, what it does is highlights individuals' mental health. You know what I mean? Because one thing, yeah, like no one really knows what's going on in another man's head, right? And some people are better actors than others. Some people are good at hiding shit than others. You know what I'm saying to you? And again, we can give so many different examples as to that. You know what I mean? We've had high celebrity suicide, low suicide. You know what I mean? So, like, that feeling of not wanting to be here is obviously a real thing for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Because as we're even talking, I remember, yeah, I swear down, as we even talk about it, right? I remember a time in my life when I got to a time about 17, 18, yeah, and about 4 girls, yeah, just this had randomly sort of confessed to me that they had tried to commit suicide. You get me? Like, these are all girls from my school. I'm like, you know, when I'm looking at them, I'm like, what? Because, you know, you look so well, you know what I mean? There's nothing that would make me think, you know, that's what you're about. You see what I'm saying to you? But, man, I had one friend, she's like, I'll tell you, she told me she had tried X amount of time. Now, I'm saying, I knew this girl. Yeah. So this one, I can definitely say this was my girl. You know what I mean? We you understand what I'm saying to you? But it's supposed to show the point I'm making, like how someone's shit can be so deeply concealed, you know what I mean? Or when he's like going back to your example, you get me, about your mate. Obviously, now when he's going to the gym with his brethren, you know what I mean? He's living his best life, and that's what you're gonna see because that's all you need to see, or that's what your mate needed to see. You know what I'm saying to you? You know?
And it could be as simple as that's what they want you to see. They don't want to put it on you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's my exact point. That's my exact point. You know what I'm saying to you? But again, that's problematic if a person can feel. But again, that's why I was saying before about it's about the different individuals, because a different person would have been like, yo, you get me? I tried this once and I'm not feeling, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But this particular person still held it all together and she done that and still looked banging. You hear me? Because she was the hot girl. You get me? Hands down. You see what I'm saying to you? So again,
see, she's got to live that life as well, being that hot girl with the see, like now we're going into like sort of maybe the expectation of what was put on her, you know, being that hot girl. Do you get me?
To be fair, her problems wasn't about that, innit? Her problems, now I know where her problems lay, you know what I mean? And it wasn't about her being a hot girl, you see what I'm saying to you? You get me? But that's why all I would say in that regard is that, you know, when we have children, you know what I mean? We must always make sure that we're in a position to put our children first and make sure that we are the best parents that we can be. You see what I'm saying to you? You get me? And not put responsibility on young children or don't compete. And that's another thing, and I've touched upon it before, but mothers and daughters and fathers and sons competing for the spotlight is a mad thing, man, and it's got to stop. We need to go back where we can differentiate between mother and daughter and son. You see what I'm saying to you? You know what I mean?
Do you know what, Nine? I'll be honest. Not one of my mates, but a lad I'm close with, because I was never. It's basically like my girlfriend's best friend's brother, but I'm close with him. You know what I mean? We do speak. We do go out for a pint every now and again. But he's getting sentenced today. And he could be looking up to 25 years. Don't think he'll get that much. But I'll tell you now that that's come from that, and it does piss me off. That because I called it years ago. That's come from that exact situation you just talked about there. His mum tried to be his best mate. You know, she would like, she'd big up her son as a gangster. Do you know one of those mums where it's like, what are you doing? You know, you like, she'd buy him all the stuff that encourages him to be and live that life. And look at him now. You know, he was arrested the day his son was born. He come home to get clothes from the hospital. Busy's burst through the door, arrested him. He hasn't seen his son since. Luckily enough, he's seen his son. Do you get me? But it was like, you could see it coming for, you know, you could just see it coming for years and years and years. And no matter how much he tried to sort of get out of it, he had mates who've been shot and died in his arms, mates who've been stabbed to death, dying in his arms, you know. And as a society, you know, like even if you go around like the police stuff, you know, like, it's never sort of comprehended. And that's, I know loads of lads like that. And that's why sometimes I don't have sort of the same sort of mental road as a lot of people on these channels, because it's like, you unless you've met people like this, you can't do that thing of, oh, we're just scumbags. Do you get me? It's like, yeah, but they've been put down that path, whether it's by government or by the family. You know, they were kids once. You've got to put some blame on them, obviously, because they've went and done whatever they've done. But it's, you know, when you can see it coming from early, and you just think it was always going to happen, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? Everything that stepped, I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier. You know what I mean? He's seen it. Even walked in. He used to get on very well with his uncle. He walked in on his uncle, and he'd hung himself. You know, so it started from like an early age, all the mad stuff, and it just winds me up, because I was reading like The Echo and that last night, and it was just like, you know, when you just think, yeah, it's just winding me up.
I'm telling you, man, that's why, you know what I mean, you always have to just, you know what I mean, just give thanks every day, man, that your life is set a certain way, because, you know, there's people.
Oh, yeah, thank God for my mum and dad, genuinely. I just love me mum and dad, boss people.
Absolutely, absolutely. And foundation is key, man. You know, foundation is key, man. And which, you know what I mean, still sort of is in tune with what we're speaking about, man, because like, to me, you have a lot of people that when they display certain sort of behaviors, there's always like a genesis of that behavior as to why. You get me? So even when you just, again, gave an example about your mate, and then when you go further back down the line, he's come in and he's seen his uncle. That's a massive thing. You know what I mean? That's a massive thing for the brain to really to take in. You know what I'm saying? And then have to really try to compartmentalize it. You know what I mean?
Seen it loads, man. Seen it loads. These lads, I've seen it loads. Like, he even tried to. He touched lucky. He never really sort of got caught doing anything. So he sort of was under the radar for so many years, and he got to a point where he thought, you know what? He realised the sort of life he was living, and it was wrong. You know what I mean? So he was like, I'll try and get into the army. You know, because a lot of young lads, you know, from that sort of background, they just see the army as an opportunity, obviously, because it's sort of along the same sort of lines. Let's be honest. You know, being a man's man, you'd have a gun, your guns, and all this. And all that, and he done his legging. As simple as he done his legging. You know what I mean? And but what I'm trying to say is the energy levels. Because when you read about these stories in the papers and things like that, you look at the achievements they've done. All right, it's through crime, but there's still I sort of still see the hope in some of it. Do you get me? You know, you see how have you been able to achieve that as a criminal? Do you get me? You know, if you can channel that same energy into something positive, you know, we'll all benefit from it. You know, I've got a mate there, and he's had so many opportunities, and like, but the city, he shouldn't be in a city. Do you get me? He just shouldn't be in a city. If you put him on a farm and said you need to move that from there to there, he'll do it all day. He's just got that energy. But if you put him in a city where he's comfortable, everyone knows him, he can't go out for a pint without getting into a fight, because he knows that many people. They'll be supplying him with drugs. They'll be buying him pints all night. You know, and then he'll just end up back in prison for fucking glassing someone or something stupid. You know what I mean? And then he comes out, looks like a bit of a fucking hobo for a bit. And then he'll meet up with someone he hasn't seen in years. He'll get them shaved and buy him all brand new flipping clothes, £600 coats, all this again. And then he just lives in that fucking cycle. Do you get me? But his energy is undeniable. Like his energy, if you could channel it into building, like I remember when he was on the building game with his dad.
Let me ask you a question, even, yeah, because as you make that point about channeling that energy, yeah, with the young men that you know, yeah, if they were given the opportunity, and I know you just mentioned building there, right? So say if they were offered the opportunity to have get onto like an apprenticeship, right, which is what 3-4 years, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Do you think they would take it on?
I do, yeah. If it's offered early enough now, I think a lot of lads, because they've said it to me. Oh, should have done something like you know what I mean? And it's like, I even know through myself. I got my job because of my dad's mate. You know what I mean? My dad got me in through the back door, sort of, who you know, not what you know, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And I think you sort of.
But was you not to get too personal, even 1 second, not to get too personal, but was you ever on the roads, as it were, prior to your apprenticeship? Was you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I just have a lot of mates. My family's massive, you see that, so I just never got involved in like the little like turf wars and all that because I always had mates on like all the sides. Do you get me?
Right.
You know, that's how my little pocket of mates. We all sort of come from like big family backgrounds where you sort of got left alone, so we just concentrated on playing footy. You know, because you have like your uncles and that who tell you the stories of all these when they used to do it as kids, and you're like, be arsed, you know what I mean? Be arsed having that scar, be arsed having fucking that bit of me ear missing. You know, we never really had to engage in it. Do you get me? Me and my mates, like, but yeah, we'd still be on the streets, hanging around, playing footy. Just doing what everyone else is doing, but we just never bothered getting involved in all the aggro. Do you get me? We just have a laugh. A lot of the time, I am lucky.
So before you got your apprenticeship, then you weren't sort of earning money on the road, as it were.
I was selling weed, yeah.
Okay.
I was selling weed as a kid, like.
Oh, all right then. Okay.
Not a major, like, not like.
No, but that's the point I'm making, because when I asked
just enough to make, just enough to buy me tracksuits and me trainees and that, like.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just so I looked fucking smart and that, like that.
Because the reason I'm asking that even is that because for some, that trade off is the money in it. You get me?
Yeah.
You might have a 17, 18-year-old earning whatever a day in it. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? Insert as you will, yeah? Depending on what they're doing, right? And then now you're going to come with them to say, well, you can do this instead, but you're only going to earn, I don't know, a quarter of that for the week or for the month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
submissive. Yeah, submissiveness of it as well, yeah, definitely.
You'll be onto a good thing. And that's what, because I think that's one of the problems with the youth. And for me, is that they want everything everything's instantaneous, right? Instagram, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you want it now, innit? You get me? So why am I gonna wait?
And they don't want to have to answer to anyone now. Like it's there's loads of aspects to it. But I think that comes from a resentment through school as well, a lot of the time as well. You know, so it's come through with them from school. And I blame a lot of the schooling system on how you're treated. You know, if you don't get things, you know, I think they could pick kids out a lot earlier, and say, right, this kid just doesn't want to listen, So why don't we put him with the caretaker? You know, put him with the caretaker and give him jobs chopping wood or brushing up, you know, something. Maybe they will. Like I do know the lads, like. Maybe they mess around and brush all the leaves into a pile and then start booting the leaves around. You know what I mean? But we've got to start, in my opinion anyway, we've got to start treating these young lads as little testosterone machines. Because a lot of the time, it seems to be through the development of when they do get testosterone, and they sort of don't know what to do with it. Because I personally think different lads obviously get different testosterone levels. Some lads don't know what to do with it. You know, I don't think even sometimes when you get old, you can't explain why you do things because testosterone sort of so.
So do you think they should bring back something like not even national service, but like what did they used to have before? They had national service and what else?
Yeah, I think they should bring something maybe like pride in the community back now. You know, where there's like a little app. You know, say you have a road and there's loads of litter in the road and there's like enough neighbours on the app and they all put a couple of quid in each. And it goes to these young kids who've got nothing, you know what I mean? And they get a little message through, you know, road needs cleaning, 20 quid. You know, and I don't know, I don't know what to do, but it also goes down to like you made to feel like I remember when I was in school, you made to feel dreadful if you didn't have any sort of prospect of going to university. Do you get me? You'd be looked at like sort of side-eyed if you didn't like think you're going off. Or go to sixth form. Do you get me? They didn't really push it. They pushed apprenticeships, but it wasn't really as much as like the sixth form and the university sort of same. Yeah, and I think you could.
Yeah, I understand.
Like
I understand that actually, and I think you highlight another good point regarding England and how it's changed, right? Because England's obviously gone from like an industrial sort of manufacturing based workforce to a service industry. You see what I'm saying to you? Yeah. Whereby it was so problematic that they had to bring a lot of tradesmen, I'm sure, as you would know, from Eastern European countries, this, that, and the other, because there wasn't enough tradesmen in England. And I'm sure it still remains that way. I'm not even too sure. Then they had to start encouraging tradesmanship again, because you've lost a whole generation to, the service industry or fucking computers, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying to you? So I get that still, to be fair. I definitely get that. And that's why they need to bring back like YTS and things like that. But again, the things that sort of helped to underpin the youth, they took it away, man. And that's what I'm saying. You can judge a country by how they treat certain members of their society, man. You get me? Yeah. Big up yourself, melanated goddess. Come on, and big up yourself, SA, man. You know what I mean? Always lovely to see my SA in the building, man. Mel, hope you're safe over there, so man. Send some sunshine, come. We're in the windy city right now. My thing. Kids should start.
It's a bad day, yeah.
Day 14, 15, the week. All the early as you learn. Kids should start work early, say 14, 15 during the week. Well, again, that you raises a good point though, right? Because back in the day, in England, certain children would start earning money. Them ages there used to have some people were paper boys or paper girls or whatever. Some girls used to work in hairdressers on a Saturday, sweeping up hair and all them things there. You know what I mean? And
a lot of my cousins, man. A lot of my cousins glass collecting, 14.
Yeah, exactly. And these were things before you actually got your national insurance number, you know what I mean? Little cash in hand, whatever you want to call it, you get me? So, you know, again, that was one sort of babysitting. That was also something that I know a lot of people did. Probably, I don't even, thinking about it now, I don't know how certain parents fucking left their children with certain people, but anyway. And that's another thing. Maybe we've been groomed to be so cautious and suspicious and this and that and rare. You know what I'm saying to you? Because remember them days, people would just fucking write in the window and leave it in the cafe, babysitting duties, you know what I mean? And they would get work.
Yeah.
But you couldn't do that shit again, man. You know what I'm saying? But so I agree.
A lot of the time as well, man. I think a lot of these young lads think they're better than going on the building site and things like this. You know,
I agree.
The lad who's getting sentenced, that like when we talk anyway, like he had sort of a conflict with what's it called, with like being told what to do,
authority.
But he sort of like, I think we should, especially in this day and age with like apps and things like that, you can move into sort of an apprenticeship sort of like an entrepreneur apprenticeship. Do you know a little bit, basically a little bit like what the Prince's Trust does? You know what I mean? Where if you can sort of prove that you've got a business idea, you sort of get backed. Do you get me? Because a lot of these young lads think they're better than being on the tools. You know, they've got an idea for a business.
And then you see then
you get me, and that's why they go down the route of making their own business by selling fucking brown or flipping weed or.
But then even this is where, for me, even sorry to cut in, right? But this is where this is where the older men, the elders as it were, should be backing them. You get me?
Yeah.
Encourage them to leave that way of life. You get me? Because what the example I always try to give, right, is the mafia, yeah. And even I speak to my own community, you got the mafia, right? So you know that the original mafia, they done whatever they done, right? Yeah, they was as cold as fuck, illegal, all that shit. Cool. Then they made sure that their children were doctors. You know what I mean? With that money, they made sure that their children didn't have to take that path, right? Yeah, and then became doctors, lawyers, or whatever. They're still crooked lawyers. Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong, but they're lawyers. You with me? And I'm saying this is what should be done in even the example that you're making, right? So you got that youth there. He's a good little worker, whatever. The bigger men can see that he can work, he can shift food, whatever the case may be. So they can see that he can balance out the thing. You know what I'm saying to you? Whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that he should be, if he has a business idea that's legal, the other man then, where he's probably made money for them, this, that, and the other, they should be the first to back him. Because you've got the money. You get me? So then this is now where you have to start questioning some of the elders, isn't it? Like, do they really want some of the youngers to do better? Yeah. Or do they just
that's it. Like I'm not like sticking up for like criminals, like because like at the end of the day, criminals are criminals. But I think if we can get to them before they turn criminal, should we say? You know, it's win-win all round, isn't it? It's win-win for the police. It's win-win for society. It's win-win for their families. You know, it's win-win for their kids. It's the knock-on effect is such more dramatic than getting a police record. You know what I mean?
But we gotta be real, Heathen. We gotta be real, right? And when I say real, not even real, but we gotta look at it in a logical way, as it were, right? Because police and thieves, right? So the police need criminals. You get me? So the police don't want criminals to stop being criminals. So let's just put that in order. Nor do lawyers or the rest of it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the business, yeah? So that's why it has to come back to the community and the families and whatever, first and foremost, in my mind. You get me? So I'm saying back to your example where, because remember, everyone's a criminal in their own way, you know, from the government to the fucking Pope, but they're just slick with their criminality, right? And they work within the parameters of the legal system that they know. You get me? This, that, and the other. So everyone's a criminal.
Like, I'm not backing corruption, but like, you know, my ex-bird, she used to own a pub, and I never used to know this went on until a sort of, well, until she had the pub, and where it was anyway, it was like in a middle class area, right? So you had the police, basically a lot of police people like sort of lived around the area, but then there was a big set of high-rise flats over the road, right? And it was like an over 50s sort of flats. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you have them in London, but it's like sort of, you have to be over 50 to be able to apply to live in these flats, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it just so happened a lot of them were like ex-gangsters, major gangsters in Liverpool. And they used to come over to the pub, and they'd come into the pub, and there'd be police there, and they all knew each other. Do you get me? And the way they used to describe it, like, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. If you give a slap round the back of the ear to my son, I'll be coming to see you, but I won't be coming to kill you. You know, I'll be coming to see you. And if I feel like my son's done something wrong, you know what I mean, I'll back you up on it. And I don't think that sort of cohesion's there anymore. Do you get me? This sort of wink scenario. You know what I mean? It's just like, I hate you, you hate me. We just hate each other. There's no like sort of give and take anymore. I think it's down because they've tried to kick corruption out of the service. But let's be honest, some corruption within society is needed, isn't it? In a certain way. Whether it should be open, I don't know, but you know what I mean? To benefit, like where my family are from, in the Dingle in Liverpool, like my nan would never, my dad was cheeky to a policeman. My nan would never sort of question the policeman. She couldn't be bothered. You know what I mean? If my dad was cheeky enough to get a clip round the ear hole, come running into me nan, oh, just being clipped round the ear hole by the policeman, my nan would be like, what did you say to him? Do you get me?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. You know, I'm not saying down to the T, but you know that's you know what I mean. I'm not always the best at explaining myself, but that's sort of where I'm coming from as well. Like, I don't know, because we all are the community.
Corresponds with the general in England. That definitely, well, not even in England, in different parts of the West, I would say that sort of that moving away from authority, isn't it? Yeah. Remember, there was a time in England where everyone could tell you off. You get me? Your teacher could tell you off. You get me? If you was at church, your church people could probably tell you off. The police could tell you off. You know what I mean? Your neighbors could tell, as long as they were called adult and respectable, they could tell you off. That's certainly how I grew anyway. You sort of say to you. So as if I look back now,
a lot.
Yeah, we were heavily policed. It didn't look like policing because it was just a community. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. But it was authority all the same. And you know what I'm saying to you? Like, I know.
Yeah, when you used to get in line and you what were you doing on such as what you mean? What you mean?
Exactly.
And your mum's had a phone call, just seen thingy there, just been throwing eggs. It's like,
exactly, Heathen. Exactly. And that's a brilliant example, right? Because that's how it was. You know what I mean? And what I also always sort of try to reiterate is that it didn't matter what sort of adult you were, as long as you were a respectable adult. You see what I'm saying to you? So that could be Irish, Scottish, Sri Lankan, whatever. From your name was adult. That's what it is. You get me? And I'm saying today there isn't that sort of policing again, just in the community generally. You know what I mean? You know, at school, they've only got, you know, a little bit of autonomy over the children. You know what I mean? The police again. And then that's why, I mean, the police situation, it's debatable. I don't think that they should be openly being disrespected. Personally, you get me? Even if they are scummy, it just sets a bad precedent, this, that, and the other. You get me? You got them kind of situations.
It undermines what they're there for, and the innocence of when they are used. The more of the effect that happens on the extreme ends of the innocent side of it. Yeah, I totally get it. But there's obviously scum. I've met them myself. Absolute scumbag policemen. I've even worked for the police doing work. You know what I mean? And you meet them. You know, you'll know them straight off by just even looking at them, or even sometimes, especially in Liverpool, hearing the accent. You know, because we have a lot of people from our city won't be police. We have a lot of people from around the country that come to be police here. You know, so if you hear someone with a very snobby accent, you know straight away. As soon as they hear like my accent, they hear my accent straight away. I'm on the back foot. Do you know what I mean? Because they'll almost instantaneously be sort of intimidated by the accent. Do you get me? They're out of the depth. They'll find me like aggressive. It always used to happen when we were kids. You know, you'd get like a policeman and they'd be from down south and they'd pull you for a stop, because we had stop and search when I was a kid. There was shootings like every day. There was killings every day. We always used to get stopped and searched. And you'd know the different bit as soon as they spoke to you. You knew whether, do you know what? Just sort of calm down for this one. You know what I mean? No point in answering back, because he'll have you in handcuffs. He'll have you in the back of the van. He'll be doing searches on your name, on your address, fucking criminal record. He'll just be hounding you for 40 minutes in the back of the van, just to push his chest out, just because he can. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Because there's someone like, it used to happen to me so much as a kid. There's a fella who's 4 years older than me, and he's from Glasgow. He's got the same name as me, and he's he must have been a sex pest for fucking years. So every time he used to run my name, he'd come back sex pest. And it wasn't until they got down to this fella had tattoos and all that. Do you know, this fella had tattoos, and then they looked at the age, he was 4 years older. But the when you sat in the back of the Matrix van and you sort of see this get said, and then you sort of see 4 or 5 busies change round you, you know, getting ready for you to maybe kick off or to try and do a run it or to try and get, or whether they're just trying to intimidate you. And then as soon as they carry on reading the information, they all just sort of start sitting back down. It is mad, like, you know what I mean? Mad.
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. But
I'm going to go because my apprentice is here, but I'll try and jump back on later if you're on.
Yeah, man, cool. Because I'm actually going to be going because, like I said, I knew they was going to pull up, so I've definitely got a Zoom coming up and all everything there. So yeah, man. But nice chatting to you, Heathen, man. And
belt a little talk, belt
spectrums, man. So big up yourself. Have a nice day and drive safely, man. All right.
He's right. The rain's just starting now, so I don't know whether this storm's here. But yeah. Go ahead, Sir Nines. Go on, I'll see you in a bit.
Right.
He's right. Nice one. Have a good one.
Bless. All right, family. All right. So that was my Scouts, mate. Heathen, you never walk alone. Don't know. Liverpool till the end, mate. That's one big thing I can make a mess of. I tried a few times to strip it all. All right. So I know you've been chatting in the chat, so sorry if I've been missing it. But yeah, man. As per normal, you know what I mean? We digressed from the original topic matter, but Urban said the M25 is mad windy. All right, so drive safely. Be careful. You know what I'm trying to say? Be careful, man. God. You know, it's not even a joke thing, man. For real. But yeah, man, that was an interesting build still. We did touch on which the adversities of what's in the subject in the heading, but I'll have to come back to it still. No lie, because yeah, man, gotta get myself ready. We hate Liverpool and Man City. That's all right. We like to be hated, man. You know this already, man. We like to be hated, so that's not even a problem. I've learned that Urban is a coffee connoisseur, so that's definitely something that I've learned, man. You know, mad thing. But yeah, man, you know, London or England is certainly becoming a coffee nation. And again, what I find interesting about that, like I said before, is just how a culture can change, right? And how different things or different external things can have such an impact to where it changes your culture. And that's how cultures change, man. You know what I mean? We've seen it in living color, man. But going back to 10:30, yeah, in terms of which is worse in these YouTube streets, like I said, I think I'll definitely have to come back and touch on it again. But I think Real believes it to be mental health, and with that comes the prescription drugs. Me, I think it's unemployment, man. No, let me not. But I think unemployment is a big factor, right? Because if you're employed, even if you are a drinker, a person that, you know, on prescription drugs, whatever, for at least for those hours of the day, you're forced to have to you know, perform and be on track and not be sort of what's the word, under the influence, whatever. I don't know. I'm saying that, and as I'm thinking, I'm like, some people like to hate. Where does that come from? Cool. Where is that? Some people like to. That's a bit random. Check. That's a bit random. All right, I'm gonna presume that Natty's having a conversation with Stu, and I just highlighted that. Let me take that off. But yeah, man. So yeah, man, we'll definitely come back and have a reason about it still, because I do think And not even just that, but just even about the effects on these things in the wider society anyway, you know. Because I think we'd be surprised actually about the amount of people in England that are actually on prescription drugs via the doctor, whatever, whether it be to treat depression and different mental health illnesses, different imbalances. Good morning, Candy Kane. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We've had some people that have been brave enough to come on even in this little YouTube world, and you get me, let the people know. And I mean, for some people it's blatantly obvious anyway, so but there's a lot of people just in this YouTube square that have been diagnosed with certain mental illnesses, are under certain medications, and I would also say abusing certain medications, because definitely there's certain people that are on prescription drugs and then they're doing all kind of fuck shit along with it, and I'm not sure what sort of impact that has short-term and long-term. I know some of the short-term ones, they're quite obvious, but what about the long-term effects? So I'm saying persons like that, big up yourself, Ultra. I'm looking into micro-dosing mushrooms. I'm so bloody hell. Now you gotta mention mushrooms, and I gotta go because that would just take me beautifully into another thing that I want to talk about on another side of YouTube when it comes to mushrooms. You get me? Because someone's seemingly taken some mushrooms and has just become a completely different person, and just is as such, there's a lot of car crash TV from this person, but then I think there's other things on top of it again, which kind of goes back to what we speak about before, when it came to men and their emotions and how they manage and handle it, because as much as that, there's a lot of bitch ass men out here just doing some bitch ass bawling and wailing. That's just not very, it's just not a good look, man. So I hear what he's been saying in a certain way still, because it is a bit of it's a trade-off, man. It is a trade-off. But I'm saying, man, even if you have to bitch and wail, don't be bitching and wailing online, innit? Bitch and wail in your bedroom, and that's what I'm saying. Bring back the pubs, because back in the day they'll just cry over their pint and keep it moving. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, there's a lot of bitch ass men in these YouTube streets and other places elsewhere, I'm sure. And what I was going to say to Heathen before still is that I think it sort of coincides with this whole metrosexual type of man, because you can kind of, you can kind of go back and see where it kind of all began, like in earnest, in earnest, man. And this is where we are now. So I think, yeah, man, there's definitely an agenda to fuck up the man them's head, and it's working. And fuck up the women's heads as well. And then that's a whole different story again about the agenda, like the what do you call it, gender agenda. Yeah, we get that, gender agendas, But man, I think in England at least, I think when David Beckham came out wearing a thong, was it not a thong, a sarong, sorry. I think that was the beginning of something, I really do, man. And then here we are now. Then that that was the birth of the metrosexual man. You get me? And here we are now in 2022, man. Like, yeah. I'll tell you what though, a lot has changed in a small amount of time, man. If you really clock it, family, like a lot has happened in a small amount of time, man. Because what's the world going to be in 20 years from now? Can you imagine? 20 years from now. Can you imagine what the world's going to be like? Can you imagine what the technology is going to be like? You know what I mean? Nothing. Because by then we'll definitely be having flying cars and fucking trips to the moon. That might be your all inclusive in 20 years time, You get me? All inclusive to the moon, please. Where you'll be able to spend your Bitcoin and Shiba and yeah, I'm telling you, total recall on its way. Mad thing, do you think Abrahamic faith intervened when we were previously going down this path? Can you be a bit more specific, Herbs? I think that's going to be an interesting question, but I just want to make sure that I'm understanding you right still. I mean, are you asking that what? Is it because of time gone by when man was doing fuck shit that religion was born? And as such, what are we saying? But yeah, man, I knew it, man. Where's the link lines? All right. Ultra in the building. I know. I knew they weren't gonna give me a whole out today, boy. Fuck's sake. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think there were other things before religion, before they got to actually quote unquote religion. But yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I'm sure man's always been doing fuck shit, to be honest, in whatever time it was, you know what I mean? So yeah. Tell you, boy. But religion, yeah, and the thing is, if I was going to be honest, at least in England and other places, yeah, I think religion played its part, man. Definitely, in fact, religion definitely played its part, man. And I think as it could be argued, people are going more against religion and doing self-rule, rightly or wrongly. You get me? Rightly or wrongly. I think the degeneracy levels are improving. I'll have to go along with that. But at the same time, even with religion, you know, a lot was hidden, right? So it's a catch-22, man. But I definitely say taking a country like an island like Jamaica or whatever. I think definitely, you know, whilst it was a more conservative and more religious country, I think definitely better. And I think the same thing in England as well, to be fair, man. You know, England now, like Sundays is just like every other day and this, that, and the other. And I think that's also sort of problematic retrospectively. You get me? Because it's just all go now, isn't it? Like no one isn't really encouraged to stop and slow down and think and unwind and this and that. You know what I'm saying to you? And I think that's actually quite an important thing. You know? So yeah, man. Because yeah, man, Sunday to Sunday, there's no break in it. Effectively, you get me. Even when they change the opening hours of the pubs and that, where because I don't think a pub should be open at fucking 11, 12 o'clock and people should be drinking. To be honest, man, I don't think, especially when we know what sort of society we have already when it comes to drinking. So yeah, I don't know about that, man. You know what I mean? They're just. But again, that's what I'm trying to. Even that, it just shows how culture can change, right? You know how culture can change, and you get me. It's like once the genie's out the bottle, you know, here we are, man. So, which is a mad thing as well, because like the opening hours have extended, but the pubs are reducing. So that don't even make sense, man. That don't even make sense. But again, the erosion of pubs, I believe, is bad for British culture. I truly believe that, man. Especially for the indigenous British, you know what I mean? I think it's and the work and not even just that, but the working class indigenous British. You know what I'm saying to you? Because generally pubs was their thing, really. You know, the upper classes, they more had like social clubs or conservative clubs or you know what I mean? But the pub, yeah, man. Because remember, back in the day, you used to have a pub on most of the estates. You know, we have a little pub, might have a little post office, a little sweet shop. You get me? Oh, that's it, man. Is this one? What is this? Yeah, family. I'm gonna have to come back, man. Because trust me, these people they got me, man. Feel free to. Okay. Yeah, sorry, family. I've been seeing them all. I'm checking. Oh, they reduced congestion charge, have they? I wonder why. Because they don't do nothing for nothing. Urban what movie? So have a look on about the far right on the internet. Good watch. Okay. Snow. Oh, what are you talking about, Divine? Don't scare me like that, man. Well, the sun's actually beeping where I am. Yep, so started on Sunday. Louis. You're trying to give people a heart attack out here, Divine, to promote nighttime economy. Oh, right. I've got you, Heaving. I've got you. To make money. Yeah. Cause you know them I get the taxes. Okay, sent to the one. What's this? All right. Oh. Yeah, I mean, and I guess after obviously the country was in a semi-lockdown or whatever the last couple of years, I understand that they need to get back some money in the coffers. So I get that. Still, I get that. Best fans in the world, they can be. What's this? Scottish fans smashing up cities when drunk. Okay. Fair play. But yeah, man, family, listen, I'm gonna have to toodle pip, because they got me, man. And this is the problem now with technology. You get me? Ah, dear, this is the problem with technology, man. You know what I mean? Always available to artists. You remember the days where if you worked, they could only catch you between your working hours. Yo. Yeah, I think that might be the next one. Like, what is it gonna be like out here in 20 years' time, man? Because already it's getting mad. Not even getting mad. It's a mad thing already in terms of. Yeah, there's a lot of mad things, man. To be honest. Oh, now it's getting windier out there. Ooh, might be our time. But listen, family, bless up yourselves. Yeah, I told them I'm not coming in because of that. Absolutely, man. Everyone should be. But that's what I'm trying to say, Stewie. But because of technology now, you get me? And yeah, man, they ain't wanna talk. I shouldn't even go on like that, because you don't know who's listening. But yeah, man. So I need to go and get myself ready, to be fair, family. Where you going? Oh, look at that. Check out the audio book called Economy Facts and Fallacies. It breaks down congestion and taxes. I mean, that whole congestion, it's just a piss take, man. You know what I mean? It's just, and what's this new thing called? Low emissions, and they're like, and this is what I'm trying to say, man. Yeah, man, big up yourself, Candy, man. Big up yourself. That's what I'm saying. By the end of this, man, we will be paying for air. Don't get it twisted. We will be paying for air. In 20 years' time, we will be paying for air. You know what I mean? So if there's anyone out there that can, from now, find a way to charge for air, that's the business to go into. Yeah, man. Charge for air, man. Trust me. But listen, family, hit the notification bell, because you never know what I'm going to be about, as we know. But yeah, man, I've got to go and maybe come back, Carl. Can't be silly out here. Hold on a sec. But big up everyone that's passed through. Oh, yes, sir. What the? How did I do that? Huh? How did I do that? My thing. Yes, so listen, family, like I said, be safe out there. You know, all the people that are still working on the roads and whatever, be safe. You just never know. But thankfully, it doesn't sound like it's been as bad as they were proclaiming it to be when they were speaking. Oh, it comes up like that then, yeah? Oh, that's a change. Comes up like that. Proclaiming it to be so bad. But yeah, man, come on, family. Big up yourselves. You know, it's been the 999 in the building as forever. Thank you for awesome.
Grand Rising class.
Come on.
All right. Today we're going to learn about 9 ether. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
I'm calling segments on this one. 9 ether flow. 9 ether flow. 9 ether flow.
My crown, kinky. My skin, melanin.
Right.
I'll say it again. My skin is melanin.
Right.
9 ether flow, and you know I'm about to get it in. 9 ether flow, and you know I'm about to get it in. My crown, kinky. My skin, melanin.
Right.
I'll say it again. My skin is melanin.
Right.
9 ether flow, and you know I'm about to get it in. 9 ether flow, and you know I'm about to get it in.
That 9 is so divine, it's infinite, the highest number. Supreme mathematics, multiply any number by 9. Add the double digits together and watch you get back. I don't think you overstand, so Jay, won't you bring it back? That 9 is so divine, it's infinite, the highest number. Supreme mathematics, multiply any number by 9. Add the double digits together and watch you get back. Now that you overstand, let me tell you who I am. Let's get it. Heaven, that's me. Hell, that's me. The originator, me. I am the avatar of 9. Check the follicles that I produce all the time. This my scientist flow. Don't think it's solely a rhyme. I'm the first physical being. This ain't no diss track. I came from Adam, then I was formed into an atom. That's a fact. I'm bringing awareness to my peoples. You are burning star. I'm serious, B. Watch me ignite your whole being so you can see the truth unfold. This is no unsolved mystery. We are the creators, the all in the all. I said we are the creators, the all in the all.
My crown, kinky. My skin,
Melanin.
I'll say it again. My skin is melanin.
Right.
9 ether flow, and you know I'm about to get it in. 9 ether flow,
Big
and
up
you know
Ultra,
I'm about to
man.
get it in. My crown,
They got me,
my
man.
skin,
I'm gonna try and come back
I'll
later
say
still,
it
family.
again.
They don't know,
My
hit that
skin
notification
is
bell,
melanin. 9
spread
ether
the
flow,
word,
and
9's
you know I'm
about.
about to get it in.
But yeah,
9 ether flow,
hope
and
you
you
have a
know I'm
blessed
about to
Friday.
get it in.
I need to
Man,
get
keep
away,
safe, man.
get away, away. Take me to a place that's tropical, so I can shine down on me. Only he can give me what I need. I need that ultraviolet vitamin D.
Vitamin
That's
D.
serotonin. Calm my nerve. You know I'm on it. By the way, Rob, produce me some more melatonin. I'm the fifth element. I'm lead low in this. I can make Zor go by boom in this. I'm metaphysical and alchemist in this. I ain't cursing on the track. My daughter gonna dance to this. I'm earth, water, air, and fire. I'm a walking planet. I'm here to give you what you desire. I got the right knowledge, the right mind. I can't go wrong with this. I got the right knowledge, the right mind. I can't go wrong with this.
My crown, kinky. My skin, melanin.
Right.
I'll say it again. My skin is melanin.
Right.
9 ether flow, and you know I'm about to get it in.
Yeah.
9 ether flow, and you know I'm about to get it in. My crown, kinky.
Yeah.
My skin, melanin.
Right.
I'll say it again. My skin is melanin.
Yes, family.
And you know I'm about to get it in. 9 ether flow,
And what I want to
and you
even
know I'm
add to
about
that,
to get it in.
is as what we were speaking about before in terms of mental health, this, that, and the other, yeah. I think another major problem is just something as vitamin D, right? The sunshine, right?
Yeah, come on, man. And
For
you
me-
can't even see the sky in this
Yeah,
country certain
that's
times.
it.
You understand what I'm saying? But
That's it, man.
I was actually listening in. I was getting ready for work for the whole conversation, And I think it's really important. If you listen back, right, you could tell that, like, I'm going to speak on Heathen. So, Heathen, if you're listening, I apologize, but I'm going to make an assessment on what I heard. Yeah. Oh, hold on 1 second. Sorry, one second.
Yeah, family. So whilst Ultras is just doing that still, and that's the time ticking, like I said, I got something to do.
Yo,
but yeah,
sorry,
man,
I'm back. I apologize.
go
Sorry.
to Ultra.
Yeah. So I was saying, like, what I heard was, if you notice, the more and more Heathen was speaking, the more he was letting out. And if you just listen, like, I think there's a stigma amongst in mental health in men, and that is something that we as a society, a species, as a community need to look at, because remember this whole thing about fucking. Hold on, 1 sec.
Again, Ultra's saying that, and
Yeah, sorry, man. I apologize. sorry,
yeah,
I
man,
apologize.
man.
Yeah, I was saying, yeah, the stigma on men and mental health is unreal. And in fact, in 2022, it's actually unbelievable. And if you think back to all of the interactions we've had online, with everybody that we've interacted with, oh shit, all the boards have been blown down in the road. Fucking hell. No, the place is mashed up. The place is mashed up. Oh my God.
Put your camera on, man. See if you can show
Oh, I
us.
passed it. I'm on the bus now. I just passed it. I'm on the bus. Yeah. Fucking hell. I'm going to work. Yeah, let me tell you. Oh, mate, that was bad. Yeah.
That's in London. Yeah.
I was saying, yeah, listen, South is full of trees and boards. All right, drive, you better hold back, there's a bus in front. Hold back. Let me jump off, driver. Thank you very much. See you later. Yeah, fucking, yeah, Heathen, like, I'm not gonna lie, as he was talking, as he was able to open up about things that he'd experienced, if you notice, the kind of floodgates opened, but he was still hesitant to. I mean, it's personal stuff, so I understand why not everyone wants to put shit out there like that. But if you notice, the minute he got comfortable enough to express himself, or to let you know that he's been through stuff himself, the floodgates open. That's why it's good to talk. Talking, like, especially amongst people who you feel comfortable around. And this is the problem. If you're feeling a certain way, like, for instance, what I heard him say was he doesn't understand why somebody would kill themselves. But the reason why you don't understand that is because you're not there. Because you're not suicidal, it will be difficult for you to put yourself in that person's position or stand out. That makes sense. But you have to understand, his mind was in such a place where the ending of one's life was a viable option. Now, if you're not feeling like that, it will be impossible for you to understand why. Oh shit! No, sorry. I'm walking backwards because if I walk forwards, the wind is going to kill the mic. Hold on.
It's even getting stronger down here now, to be honest. Oh, so I can hear it, man.
Yeah, so I've got the mic covered, yeah, but yeah, fucking, it's mental health. Like, obviously, mental health affects everyone, but mental health in men is a silent killer. Right? Imagine, I know a black Donny, fucking, he's built like a fucking brick house. This guy could snap a man's neck with his thumb. Like, his finger, each one of his fingers is like a fucking premium sausage. Massive. Yeah, his arms are the width of my thighs. And I'm telling you, man, he confided in me one time. He was telling me, brother, I'm waking up crying. I'm getting blown from left to right. Oh my God. Fucking hell. I'm getting blown.
Stay strong, stay strong.
Oh my God.
Hold on to
walk forward.
Vision.
I can't walk forward. I have to walk backwards. You know why? Oh my God.
Hold on to something, man.
Oh my God, this is crazy. Oh shit, that was nuts. Hey, wow. And now, listen, I'm a big lad, you know, and this wind is moving me. Gee. Hey, yeah. I was saying, yeah, this done. He told me, brother, I was just waking up crying, and I didn't know why. How does a man 6 foot fucking 200 pounds of nothing but muscle, who is in a, you know, the atypical alpha male, who does that type of guy go to for help? Who does that guy go to? And then on top of that, remember, if there's guys, most men, even on a subconscious level, worship alpha males. They just do. Now, if the alpha males are struggling with their mental health, who do they go to?
The alpha female.
Yeah, because remember, essentially now what we're talking about
I'm
here
joking.
It's mental health. So essentially, depending on what's going on with you, you need help. You don't necessarily need pills. This is one thing that I hate, is when you go to your GP store and then your brain is telling you, yeah, they got me on pills. I'm like, nah, did they get you to talk to somebody? Because now, I'll tell you the truth, man, if you speak to anybody that's suffering with mental health, who genuinely understands that they're not well, and as soon as they start talking to you, now they just open up, and that's the beginning of a long journey into having control. Oh shit, man, I'm running out of breath, man. Fucking hell, I can't even breathe. Oh, this is terrible.
That's the thing, though, as well, though, Ultra. We've got to be also realistic in that, in terms of like mental health, it could be still a new area.
Well, no, but that's the thing. Yeah, no. Mental health is not new. It's not new, but in certain communities, it's misunderstood, it's taboo, and it goes undiagnosed. And then,
but that's because wait. But that's because essentially, in many ways, it's new, innit? Like back in the day in England, certain people with disorders now, they would have been locked up in the madhouse. That's it.
But that's not even specific to fucking England. Well, that's global. That's global.
Okay then. But I'm just speaking about England because this is where we live and this is where we definitely know about, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just making the point again, like even something maybe a little bit closer to home, like when we were youths coming up and you displayed certain behaviors, they were just seen as naughty or disruptive or whatever.
Exactly.
Whereas now they give them all kind of letters, this, that, and the other, right?
No,
so,
but Nine, is that necessarily a bad thing? Because remember, I think it's difficult because sometimes, especially in this country, we tend to go too far left with.
Yeah, but listen, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just trying to relay the point that in many ways, mental health is still something quite new. You know what I mean? And especially how they deal with it. You know what I mean? Because like you've rightly said, in many countries, they just done it in a very draconian way. They didn't understand it. You're displaying mad behavior, juice you up, put you to the side. Yeah. We can speak certainly about black people certainly in the 70s and 80s in England, where they didn't understand some of us. You get me? They'll be seeing someone talking to themselves and whatever, automatically think that you're a mad person. Boom, juked you and you're gone. And that shit still happens today. Amen. But I'm just simply saying that in it's still a new thing in it in certain ways, in it, because what is culturally okay in one culture, in another culture we look down upon, right? That's why even in the West Indies or whatever, that's why they try to get rid of like voodoo and this and that and boom, because they didn't really understand it, isn't it? I think Ultra's gone again. I'm too skinny for this bullshit. Someone save me. This weather's crazy. A black man has been seen flying across the skies of London. Oh. Yo, Ultra, they got you flying through the air, brethren. Okay, melanated goddess in the building. Sometimes pills with talk therapy are best, especially when the person is suicidal. Okay, so melanated is definitely letting you know that the pills can play their place. And I would guess that in something like that, it would be a combination of things still, you know. But listen, family, I got to go. Yeah, no joke, team. They got me on smash right now. So, like I said, hit the notification bell. I feel, God willing, I'll be back again. You know what I'm saying to you? We can touch on this and more. You know, it's Friday, it's rent day as well. So, you know what I mean? We can have too fun. I think on my other channel, I want to have a little rave night still on the 90th and 99 live and direct. Long time we ain't bust 2 tunes. Divine's in the building. She'll have to pull up her box. You know what I mean? We need to put a little rave on, definitely. But when we do that, we're going to go over to 90th and 99 live and direct. So make sure if you haven't already, sub to that channel there, Carl. That's going to be the party channel. That could be the strike channel. You know them ones. Fam, I'm out. Let me go and do my J-O-B. All right. One love to all. Ultra, be safe.
Yeah, big up,
be
man.
safe.
Big up, yeah.
Be
I'm
safe.
gonna let you go, yeah. But when you
Yeah,
do your
man.
next thing, I'll jump on, yeah.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Have a good day,
Alright.
man. Bless
Alright,
up. Bless
peace,
up.
peace, peace.
Bless up all the kings and queens out there, man. Yeah. Be safe. You know what I mean? And you know, as we say, tell somebody that you love them. You know what I mean? Would it be anyway? Somebody. I'm out. One. Weird there, man. Can you hear that window, family? To pick up which part me then, you know? For real. Yeah, man. Looks like now we're getting it. All right. Divine, hold on to something, man. Blood clear, but you're too skinny. Hold on for something, man.